Within anime, we have so many different types of genres in the medium. We have things like shonen anime, such as Demon Slayer, Naruto, or One Piece. You have sports anime like Kuroko no Basket, Major, and of course Haikyuu. Then we have our comedy, our slice of life, our sci-fi, and our romance. There are so many different types of genres to choose from. Then we have some more subgenres that are immensely popular. We have our isekai, our yaoi, our yuri, and of course the best genre of them all, incest. And that is the exact genre we are talking about today. Yes, the last one. We are talking about a romance harem anime. What do you guys think I was gonna say, citrus?
Totally not a future video.
The show we are talking about involves one boy and 5 sisters and 1 book. The show is called Quintessial Quintuplets. A show where one man will dominate this world. One man will carry all the burdens of the world on his shoulders. One man will save the Sleeping Beauty from out of her castle and bring her down to reality. And of course, at the end of the day, marry this beauty, such beauty that makes every man falter. Okay, obviously that is not 100% the case for the show, but hey, close enough. I mean, it involves a dude. The true plot of this wonderful anime is that this man braves the seas, takes on monsters, and gets the girl at the very end. That is a very accurate summary because this man is a tutor for 5 sisters, who let's just say are not the brightest in almost all subjects. I mean, at least all of them specialize in at least one subject, so they aren't entirely useless and stupid. Our main boy, Futaro, braves the seas of school as he figures out how to tutor these girls, get good grades himself, and then finally marry one of the sisters. I mean, it's not like we're constantly reminded that he will marry one of these girls at the end of almost each episode. And the girl he marries is also not totally the girl he met when he was like 7 and never heard from since, which leads into his main motivation for being able to teach these girls in the first place. And of course, he doesn't know that one of the sisters is that girl he has been searching for almost his entire life. What a dumbass. They call this man smart. What a joke this guy is. But if we're being honest, then again, I wouldn't know either, so look who's the true dum-dum is. But hey, at least my excuse is that I am a monkey. But the protagonist of this anime is named Futaro Urasugi, and the concept of this show is that every single one of the sisters wants his dick.
Oh my god!
Futaro is a student of Asahima High School. He lives with his father Ishinari and younger sister Raihar in a small apartment. His sister is so adorable and his father is one of the funniest characters in the series. But then we get his son, who is a very serious and hard-working high school student and a prodigy at the top of his grade. Because of his family's never-ending poverty, he takes up the offer to tutor the Nakano quintuplet so that he can make a little extra cash on the side. So why not suckle on the bosoms of the rich to get yourself out of poverty and move up in the world from eating non-stop rice to eating egg benedicts every day. Oh my god, I'm a Walmart brand moist critical.
Woo! Yeah, baby!
Even though he is perfect with academics, he has no friends. And only his father and sister are listed on his phone. And you know what that means. It causes
emotional damage!
But this lonely man, and I mean very lonely man, like an absolute loner, somehow gets a hot freaking woman out of 5 sisters, and of course, like every harem, they all like him. And on top of that, he's able to go to their house every day, and he helps them study. Hold up. Let me check this script. That's it? And they somehow fall in love with a fucking loser who has no friends and no life, and they fall for him? Come on, Miku, I'm clearly superior. Well shit, this man lives every weeb's wet dream. Being able to have 5 hot sisters fall in love with you and be able to hang out with them every day. Quintessial Quintuplets first got serialized in 2017. It was about 5 quintuplets who needed a tutor. And after a bit of time, they all fall in love with our main boy and want his dick. 5 years before the start of the story, he went on a school trip to Kyoto. Futaro meets a girl his age who motivated him to study hard to become a responsible adult and provide for his family. And of course, him being a dumbass like he always is, he never asked the girl her name, which leads us to today, where this dummy tries to figure out which sister is the one he met years ago. He is known to be at the top of his class in terms of his grades and constantly getting perfect scores, while also remaining a perfect loner. Futaro was tasked with the ungodly task of taking on these 5 sisters who were absolutely stupid and made them go even further beyond.
Even further beyond!
And of course, since it's a harem, he has to end up with one of these sisters. And with every harem, there's always a best girl for someone. That someone for me was Miku. I liked her from the very beginning of the series because she is the type of girl I like and would honestly date. But not to ruin the immersion for you guys or anything, but sadly I do. She's not real. Miku is the third quintuplet of the Nakano family. She is also the most timid and shy out of all of them. She has trouble speaking her mind and putting herself out there. She is also the first one to completely develop feelings for the main protagonist, Futaro, but has the hardest time confessing her feelings, but tries her hardest to get his attention. She begins to learn how to cook and bake for him because she knows that is one of the qualities he likes in a girlfriend. And the amount of effort and time she puts into it is impressive and honestly makes you love her even more. Who wouldn't want the qualities she has in your significant other? Someone who wants to help and make you feel good. And of course, as the boyfriend or girlfriend of your significant other, you should do the same. Or that is just what I've heard and all. I don't really know since I've never dated. When we first meet her, she seems like an emotionless girl. She looks like if Captain Levi was in a harem for Erwin Smith's dick. But as we find out more about her, she is one of the most emotional characters in the show. She constantly dismisses herself. She is very silent, reserved, and insecure. Honestly, very similar to myself. At every turn, if I make an error on anything, I beat myself up over it and want to make it better, to make it perfect. This is very similar to what she does. For example, there is a moment in season 1 where she's constantly tries to make a better dish but fails every time and gets more and more frustrated, but she still wants to make it perfect. Or even season 2 where she makes the chocolate and constantly wants to improve to make the best chocolate Futaro has ever eaten. But she's also, in contrast to her reserved side, she's also very straightforward and will confront others head on. Like anytime Nino does anything, she speeds up and cuts her hair, or she may pout if other women try to steal her man. And I mean, look at that pal, that face, how can you not say yes? She is so cute and adorable, and that makes her my #1 waifu, who I wanted to destroy Smash with. Wait, anyone else? No? Just me? Well, crap. Miku is just a great waifu for me, and on top of that, she's just 1 year older than me. Because, you know, she's born in 2000, I was born in 2001, so legality avoided, baby.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
I mean, you can have crushes on, like, girls who are, like, 3,000-year-old lollies or 13-year-old, while I will be dating someone exactly my age. So I'll no longer have to worry about the FBI opening up. Plus, she likes history like I do as well, so there's another dubski for Tao, specifically really old shoguns of Japan, and honestly, I would love for her to teach me more about them, as well as teach me other stuff. Anyways, I have officially rewatched this show, and gosh darn it is still good. Unironically, I had more fun rewatching it. This could possibly be one of my favorite romances I have ever seen. It was even better than the first time watching it because I wasn't completely invested into it. I liked the show, but I wasn't fully invested into the story until the second season, but my second watch through, I was loving the first season even more. I love the characters. I like most of them from the very beginning. None of them are perfect, and that is the best part. I honestly think that all their flaws made the show so good. It isn't like they all have the same personalities either. It's not like their one trait that is different is their laugh style. They each have their own completely different personality. And I love each of them a lot. It was extremely hard to pick the best girl at the end of season 2. Every girl had the qualities of best girl in the show. It was hard to choose. And each of them are in love with their tutor for the ultimate taboo love of teacher and student. But at least these dojins are better than most because they are the same fucking age. So at least I can read this and not feel weird about it or anything, and oh my gosh, they're in high school. Futaro is someone who is majorly stubborn and honestly quite a jerk to the girls, but has a lovable kind side to him, only of course when he actually decides to. This trope for these types of characters where you have our main protagonist of a harem or romance who is actually kind of a jerk to everyone but can sometimes be kind is one of my favorite types of characters. Being able to see him grow and see him start to really care about the girl, start him seeing them less as money and less as students but more as friends. In season 1, all he cared about was the money and his family. Then in season 2, start tutoring them for free because of how much he cares about them. He has more development than most characters, like when Deku's development is increasing his power by like 2%. Obviously his character doesn't really change drastically. It's not like he's a jerk and then he isn't. He still acts like a selfish douchebag once in a while, but he starts to develop a bond between every character. And it isn't until season 2 where he starts questioning whether or not he wants to further his relationship with any of the girls. He isn't instantly attracted to any of the waifus of the show. He isn't like Issei, who tries to touch the girl's boobies every chance he gets, or Kaneki willing to instantly go on a date with a hot girl just to get eaten out. Now let's talk about the antagonist of the story, Josuke Aizen. He planned this out from the very beginning. He planted that girl in Futuro's life to make him change into the person he is today. He planned out that the girl he met originally would be the girl he married. He even planned out the wedding, who will be there, and cover all the expenses with it. Okay, honestly, most of this is true except the concept that his name is Josuke Aizen. But I mean, it's very close to the actual name of Maru Nakano. I mean, they are the exact same name. And he is kind of a terrible father throughout the show, but he's not the worst because we still have Goku that can beat him in that aspect. He thinks that he is always correct and can never be wrong. He believes in nothing but results. He is the antagonist because he and our main boy have never gotten along ever since the big fight between Nino and Itsuki, where Futuro can finally tell off on his boss and then instantly call him out on his bullshit since you know he quit and all. Hey boss, I kind of was having a hard time tutoring your daughters, but I do believe I did everything I could. I also do believe that your daughters will be able to do it this time, but because of this, I would like to resign. Also, do you know your two daughters, Nino and Itsuki, got into a fight?
Why, of course not. This is my first time hearing this, and I am positive it got resolved.
Of course it did, but shouldn't you have stepped in since you're the father? Wait, sorry, I'm way out of line. Why should never talk to my boss like that? Oh wait, you're not my boss anymore. So I'm gonna tell you how it is. You suck as a father.
So why do you try acting like a fucking father for once, asshole?
He denies Futuro and gestures to him marrying one of his daughters because of Futuro telling him to be a good father and to stop looking at them like analytics. Because god, that is depressing as fuck. I mean, if you decided to look at YouTube Studio to see a video 10 out of 10, you are instantly in a bad mood and you are instantly depressed. Next up will be the sisters, and the first sister is Ichiko Nakano. She took on the role as the older sister who is good enough to act as their confidant and leader. She does this despite the minor age difference between them. She aspires to become an actress and loves to tease Futuro once in a while. Honestly, she was one of the ones that took me the longest amount of time to have her in waifu status. Yes, she was hot and all, but she was always so messy. But as I started to see more of her character, I started to love her more and more. I loved how calm and collected she is, and honestly one of the most dependable characters in this series. She is such a great character, a great waifu, but so is every other character. Every character is actually fantastic. Then we have Nino, who is second in line and the best cook of the family, which already made her a top tier waifu for me. Nino Nakano would become my number 2 in this show in a heartbeat. She was one of the ones that usually would act like a mother to the family. She cooks for them and take care of their medical needs, and that is what I love about her. Each waifu has their own personalities that makes me love them for who they are. They each have a personality I like. Nino has a very outgoing personality and is socially aware, resulting in her having many friends, making her the social butterfly of the family. She has a sharp tongue and talks bluntly when confronting others, even to her own sisters. Her rebellious attitude makes her a tsundere, you know, people's favorite type of girl. At least it's better than a yandere like Toga. Oof, too far. But you know what they always say, don't say you're dicking crazy. Unless it's Albedo. Next would be Miku, but we already talked about her as being my favorite. But I mean, she's so cute and amazing I can't stop talking about her. She has such a great smile and voice, plus when she pouts you just want to pull on her cheeks because of how adorable she is. I mean, geez OP, she's so cute. The fourth in line will be Yotsuba, the ever so cheery and energized Yotsuba, the person that can be extremely annoying at times. And much as I love Yotsuba, I feel like she's lower on the list because I would feel so drained countless of times over while talking with her. She has a selfishly strong tendency of helping people out. She was the only sister to accept Futuro as a tutor since the start and wholeheartedly supports him in everything he does. She was one of my favorite characters in the show and I would love to have her as a best friend. But as a lover, I might just have to friend zone her. But then again, I still would date her. She is still a top 2 waifu nonetheless. She talks in a loud, spontaneous, and sometimes absent-minded manner. She's the type of person who can't say no to people who need help. And that could be her biggest strength or even her biggest weakness. I know sometimes I have trouble saying no once in a while, sometimes even when I probably should, but also I don't have a hard time saying no when it comes to certain things. She is very similar to me in one aspect, in lying to herself. We both lie to ourselves pretending we are fine when in all honesty, we aren't. I can relate to her honestly the most, but in all honesty, I relate to all of them in their own ways. When it comes to Nino, I'm very caring like her. Miku, I'm very shy. When it comes to Ichika, I'm very calm and collected in certain situations. Then we finally have Itsuki. She is serious and diligent, yet also a glutton and crybaby, just like me. I can also relate to her because I can also be really serious and I can keep myself busy with work, and I am a very careful person in terms of my work. Itsuki is a very serious and earnest girl who usually wakes up early compared to her sisters. She is well-mannered and is never late or missed a class and will always speak formally. Okay, this is not me at all. She is honestly one of the most dedicated sisters, and I love that so much about her. I wish I was that dedicated as she is on a day-to-day basis. When I get determined, I become dedicated, but it's not on a day-to-day basis. And if I'm being all honest, I relate to each of them almost similarly. They each have a persona similar to mine in different ways. Out of each of the waifus, like I said, my number one is Miku, and that will never change because she is the type of girl I love. Miku never gives up when her mind is set on something. Even though it seems like she might, she still doesn't, whether it be her grades that we see throughout the series, or even her trying to win over Futuro's heart from the sidelines, or even improving her own cooking skills. She is truly my number one waifu in the show, and honestly my favorite character in the show. I wouldn't say she is the most developed out of the bunch, because they all have major developments, and they are all on the same level in terms of characters. They are all fantastic characters, but if I were to rate them in terms of waifu, it would go Miku, Nino, Itsuki, Ichika, and Yotsuba. But I love them all, and they are all over B tier waifus for me. And heck, I'll even say they're most likely all A or S tier, except Ichika, who's probably B tier. This show will probably stay pretty high up there as one of my favorite romances. This is my favorite harem anime. Granted, I've not seen a lot, other than the ones where the main protagonist grabs onto someone's boobies for power, or the one with weird boob fidgets, or the one with the fake black swordsman. I love this show for so many reasons. I love it because of how wholesome the show can be. I love the idea of showing people that even people who seem like perfect sisters are not perfect. They have to work through these imperfections that they have, as well as see that each of them are different in their own ways, but also knowing that they will always be loved by one another. It isn't just a harem anime where they all love the main protagonist for the same reason. It's a harem anime where each sister falls in love with the main protagonist in their own ways. You have someone like Miku who is too shy to express herself and cannot find the confidence to do it. Nino who is very bold and willing to confess no matter what. Ichika who is a great actor and tries to do anything to be closer to him, and even closer to him than her own sisters. She is willing to step over others to get what she wants. She was willing to pose as Miku to give herself an advantage while also hurting Miku greatly. She did learn that, hey, that is not okay type of lesson and started to not be that way, but she wants to be closer to Futuro, but doesn't want to hurt her relationship with her sisters, and I love her character arc she went through in this, such as trying to cope with falling in love with a meaning like Futuro, and also having some lessons learned about not pushing some people out of the way for that sweet dick. They made Itsuki and Yotsuba, who in the show have not shown a lot of interest like that or have confessed to the audience about their secret love for him, but Ichi just seems like your typical tsundere, and Yotsuba seems like another person who would tell the main character that she loves him and then joke it off like she doesn't. Oh, wait a minute. She does that every several seconds. Does that mean she actually loves him? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, guys. Yotsuba loves Futuro. Oh, I was the only one that didn't figure that out? Well, frick you guys. Now, to finish off this video, I wanted to tell you guys some fun facts or trivia about some of these characters. Ichika's voice actress, Kana Hanazawa, is the oldest among the voice actresses of the Nakano quintuplet. The name Ichika means one for Ichi, and flower or blossom for Ka. Ichika's notable accessory is a single earring representing number 1, which is part of her name and the order of her birth. The name Nino means to for ni and from for no. Anya Takatatsu, who is Nino's voice actress, is the second oldest of the actresses. The name Miku means 3 for me and black jewel for ku. Among the Son Goku's generals, the one Miku likes the most is Takeda Shingen, as it is hinted at many times throughout the series when she set Takeda's crest as her phone's wallpaper. The name Yotsuba means 4 for Yotsu and Leaf for Ba. Yotsuba and Luffy from One Piece share the same exact laugh style, with Itsuki is the only girl where her name combines the meanings of 2 words, as the name Itsuki means 5 for Itsu and Moon for Suki. And finally, we have our main protagonist, Futuro. The name Futuro means wind for Fu, thick or big for Ta, and man for Ro. No wonder why every girl wants his dick.